Hello and welcome along to part 29 of this Dark Souls guide and playthrough. Today we're going to finish up in the Painted World. By the end we'll have taken on Crossbreed Priscilla. And right now we've got to get rid of the rest of these bone wheel skeletons. We've got a few wee secrets to discover in these tunnels. A couple of items to pick up. And the eagle shield's working well there. And what else? Yeah, we've got to turn the statue around using a contraption. If you come up here, we will pick up a pyromancy. Instant mistake. I should have used the fire's Y-hander. So I need to use one of my blooming purple moss clumps to get rid of the toxic effect. So it's fire surge. I think that's a wee bit slightly stronger than the normal pyromancy flame, and it's not one of the pyromancies that Lordran would recognise. It's one of the ones that's not from the Great Swamp. You can use it while moving. I think that's one of the benefits of it. I think this is the annex key, so this is the most important item down here. This allows you to open the door to get access to the Dark Ember. Yeah, nothing really very interesting in the description. The annex is basically the room next to the phalanx warriors. So if you come in here, this is a trap. When you pick this item up, when you go towards the item, it triggers that. Even with the Ring of Fog on, they still don't aggro. I think the Ring of Fog does help in this room, definitely. Even though I'm kind of mid-rolling here, I'm glad I have it on rather than Havel's Ring, because if I walked in here without it, these guys would have, I think most of them in the room would have aggroed. And I think there's like 3, 4, 5, 6 in here. Anyway, here's this interesting statue of a mother with it looks like a young girl, a young child. Some people have speculated this is Guinevere and Crossbreed Priscilla, Guinevere being the adult. And you'll remember the last time, this opens the door to the boss fight, and you'll remember that the last time we encountered Guinevere was in Anor Londo with the big bosom. That's actually an illusion of Guinevere that's created by her sister / brother Gwendolyn. And you would assume that when you create an illusion, you want it to be an accurate representation of the real person, because you're trying to sell the illusion, obviously, and therefore we've got to assume that Guinevere really was that big, and therefore it makes sense that Crossbreed Priscilla, who is half dragon, the father, therefore it's possible that the father could be Sif the Scaleless, because they're both of the correct size to enable copulation between a dragon and a goddess. Anyway, let's talk about this area. So as you can see, bone skeletons, lots of them. Ring of Fog helps, and if you don't have the Ring of Fog, make sure that you can dodge left or right at a fast roll speed, because you'll need to. I'll just take that off now, don't need it anymore. Havel's Ring, replace it. And this is the alternative entrance into the lower part of the Painted World of Ariamis. And the world itself is not called Ariamis. Ariamis is the designer of this. Basically it's a prison. So he's the designer of this prison, designed to keep items and creatures that are a threat to the gods away from Lordran. So this is where the annex key becomes useful. And we've got more of these engorged zombies up here, and unfortunately I've only got two. I think I've only got 2 blooming purple moss clumps left. I'm going to take this one out with a bow and arrow, and I really should have upgraded my bow, because we don't get much damage in against these guys. And another annoying thing with these guys is the hitbox, even though you're aiming for like the kind of tumorous areas, the arrows can go right through them. So you have to kind of aim for the middle. I got lucky there, and I'm lucky I don't get toxic. Fire arrows can help here as well, obviously. Anyway, before you go down there, come to the left, and you can see there's quite a few of these engorged zombies down here. There's one up there as well. And I'm going to change to the Fire's Y-hander. When you go up the stairs, do a roll because he's going to shoot a pyromancy at you. I don't, I take one right in the face. And something strange happens here. The crow demons aggro. Normally they don't aggro until you go up there, I'm sure of it. And unfortunately this Y-hander is only a +2, and it just doesn't do enough damage to these guys. So I'm dead. They're going to peck my eyes out. It's quite a disturbing move. That was my fault. I should have upgraded this Y-hander. See, there's the roll through his pyromancy. And again, the aggro straight away. I'm sure that doesn't happen. And another strange things happen in a second. Again, I'm using the Fire's Y-hander because I need it. Because I needed it to kill the engorged zombie. So I come down here just to get some breathing space and to change weapons, and thankfully the beast kills itself, so we got lucky there. But something strange happens when we go back up. There's 2 additional crow demons, but normally they don't aggro until another area than this section, but they aggro straight away. I just don't understand it. There shouldn't be 4 crow demons in this area. Something strange has happened. So I'm getting my ass handed to me a wee bit here. He goes for the gorge, the pecking attack, but thankfully jumps into the hole, it looks like, and kills himself. Even though they can fly, again, it's like the similar problem with Anor Londo Batwing demons. But I'm thankful because that was a really dangerous situation, and I'm lucky I survived it. We picked up the Miracle Vow of Silence here, and now we've picked up the black set, the Mask of Velka. So Velka, it says, is a dark-haired witch and the goddess of sin. And I'll put the set on and show you what it's like. Oswald of Kareem wears it. And the lore surrounding Velka is quite dense, and the lore surrounding the Painted World is quite dense as well. So basically Oswald of Kareem carries out the punishments that are based on Velka's decrees. It seems that Velka is, like I say, this witch. She has the powers of a god but isn't a god. And the item's description suggests that she's like the final arbiter of what is and isn't sin. Just a very interesting character. And I make a mistake here. Is it this one? Yeah, again I'm using the wrong weapon. I should be the Fire's Y-hander. I've now got no blooming purple moss clumps left. And what normally happens down here is the Dark Ember. I shouldn't have done that. I forgot that the jumping attack doesn't work. Because I explained in the previous episode, with a split damage weapon in the Painted World, you've got physical and fire damage. And when you do the jumping attack, it's actually the physical part that kills the engorged zombies and not the fire part, and it needs to be the fire part to nullify the toxic effect. So that's why I got toxic there, and now I don't have any blooming purple moss clumps. So we'll eventually go back to the bonfire, but this is a Dark Ember, so this is the ember that allows you to ascend divine weapons to occult weapons, and occult weapons, I always get this mixed up, but this time I know occult weapons do increased damage to the gods, their followers, and their kin, as it said in the description. Like I said earlier, anything that was dangerous to the gods was placed in the Painted World and not supposed to escape again. And it's interesting that Oswald of Karim has managed to escape. I think he probably was here at one point. We pick up his weapon, Velka's rapier, and he was probably here at one point, but the power of the gods is diminishing in Lordran because of the nature of the crisis here with the flames, the bonfires, and the linking of the flames. And so Oswald somehow managed to escape, and he carries out Velka's work in Lordran by punishing the guilty. I think if looking at his robe and his set and whatnot, I think if somebody came to me and asked me to explain my sins and look like that, I think I would definitely see. They're not it's not peccadillos that they're interested in. It's grand sins. It's sins like murder and rape and all the worst of mankind's behaviour. Anyway, let me talk about this. I'm getting too anyway. Gold coin, good. We can give that to Frampt. He'll eat it, and we'll get like 3,000 souls for that. I just like. It's not been my day. When I was playing this, it wasn't my day. I did the first part the day before, and I did this part the next day, and it just wasn't my day for different reasons. But anyway, I like using that large club. I've upgraded it to Divine, and it's excellent. It's just got a brilliant moveset. So we'll homeward bone back to the bonfire to get rid of the toxic effect, and we'll continue where we've left off at this wee part here, because there's an item to pick up down there. So roll off here, and if you come into the left, you'll pick up the Painting Guardian set, which is a white alabaster armour set. I thought there was a rat maybe around there, that's why I hit the treasure chest. So we get the Painting Guardian set, and that has increased magic resistance. It's the same with Velka's. That's the thing I didn't mention about the black armour Velka set. That has high resistance to magic damage as well. So that's us finishing this wee area. If you come up here, there'll be a hollow that climbs over the wall. I love the footprints in the snow. It's a great wee detail. And sometimes there's an engorged zombie comes down the ladders here, and he's coming down. That's why I've not gone up. Time to change back to the fire. Fire's Y-handle. Don't do jumping attack. Yeah, you can see that FromSoft spent a lot of time developing the Painted World. Just in terms of even the textures and whatnot look really good around here. We've already been in this area in the first episode, so we've picked all the items up. I'm not going to bother going down to take all those engorged zombies on. No point. Well, I suppose one of them's come out to meet us, so we better take him on. And then if we come down here and roll to the right, we'll pick up a soul item around here. I think there's something going on with the fact that Velka and their cult stuff is all black, and you've got the Way of White, which hunt undead, and they're white. Same with Rhea and whatnot. I think there's something going on there. I'm not 100% sure what the theme is. I thought I could maybe take these guys down, but no. That's another thing to mention. Velka's rapier scales with intelligence and not faith. So if you're an intelligence based sorcerer, it's quite a good weapon to use. So yeah, we're going to come back to the area. So this is just the area where we were at a second ago before we rolled down to get the soul item. The place where the engorged zombies are and whatnot, the wee building there. Anyway, so this takes us up the spiral staircase. Souvenir of Reprisal, that's for upgrading your rank in the Blade of the Darkmoon Covenant. I make a mistake here and plunge to my death, which was really annoying. I was just really careless. I think I was tired when I was doing this playthrough, when I was playing through this area. And everyone has days where they have bad performances in Dark Souls, don't they? He did, just jumping down there. I don't know why they die like that. I mean, they can fly, I think, or glide at least. This wee area here gives me vertigo. Makes me feel kind of nauseated when we got up here because it's so high up. Palms start to sweat and whatnot. So I didn't want to lock on just in case I fell off again. And I got lucky there. They have quite a lot of health, these crow demons. And there's an item down there, we'll pick that up. It's a soul item, it's a brave warrior soul. There's a multiplayer item up at the top here. It's the red signed soapstone, which allows you to invade other human players as a red phantom or a dark wraith. I'm not 100% sure, it's not something I do. Did you see that demon crow demon back there? I don't think there's one that normally sits in that part of the wall. I think there's something's gone wrong in terms of the AI, the pathing AI for these demon crows in this playthrough, because I don't remember that being there in the areas before. I definitely don't remember them. You know, what's supposed to happen when you pick the dark ember up? Here's another chappie playing through. We see his he's plunging to his death as well. You can actually fall down here safely from this part here. And what we'll do is we'll just continue to the boss now, because that's us done everything in the Painted World. That's over here. So there's a kind of ambush waiting for us up here. And I've put the ring of fog on because it stops him sniping me with his arrow until we get too close. So this is, you can see as we progress up here, like 4 of these guys, I get trapped in between the wall here and I couldn't move. And I die. Wait to see this guy, the way to see this hollow's face. He looks so pleased with himself, yep. But they got me fair and square. It's interesting to see if you look at their chest, they've got that same branching out scar that you see in Dark Souls 2, which I believe is a sign of the curse. So we'll take these guys out this time. Got lucky there. I take out 3, I think that's the first and only time I've taken 3 enemies out at once. So we've got a very Neaky Knight. It's interesting that there's a very Neaky Knight in here. Remember we said before in earlier episodes that they usually protect something important. So it seems like he's protecting the way towards Crossbreed Priscilla. You get a large titanite shard from him. So we're going towards the boss. The things to remember are to be prepared. She causes bleed damage. Our weapon, Life Hunt Scythe, causes bleed damage, so you could use the blood red moss clumps. Anything high in bleed resistance, like armour sets or shields. And what you want to do is you want to kind of circle left and... that's wrong actually, sorry. You'll see what happens. I'll talk about the strategy of the fight as it's going on. I feel sorry for Priscilla. You don't actually have to kill her, you can walk past her and plunge down.
Who art thou? One of us thou art not. If thou hast misstepped into this world, plunge down from the plank and hurry home. If thou seekest I, thine desires shall be requited not.
So sexual desires, and she won't allow you to have sex with her, basically.
Thou must returneth whence thou came. This land is peaceful.
What?
Its inhabitants kind, but thou dost not belong.
I don't know if that's an inconsistency or...
Plunge down from the plank and hurry
Or she's
home.
just totally oblivious to the fact that it's one of the most dangerous places in the whole of Lordran.
Thou must
Well, I
return
suppose this isn't in
this
Lordran, but...
land is
Anyway, so as soon as you hit her, she'll go invisible. And what will happen is, to see where she is, you look at her footprints in the snow. So just kind of circle around the room, and if you look behind me, you'll see those footprints. There we go. She's got big feet. Quentin Tarantino would love her. You can also use, I believe, poison mist to kind of like blow it on her, spray it on her, and it kind of coats her in a kind of toxic effect. And you can kind of see an outline of her body. You can actually stagger her out of invisibility, and that's what I was trying to do there. You can use knives and throwing fire bombs and things like that as well, I believe. But what you want to do is take like one hit, or try to get one hit in, and then kind of roll away and kind of circle around the room, because you'll only be able to usually get one hit in against her while she's invisible. It can be quite hard to get that second hit in to stagger her. But yeah, I do feel sorry for her. She seems to have been an unwanted child, and I think that's an interesting thing. Some people have there we go, when staggered her out of invisibility. She also has a tail weapon, a tail drop, so if you chop her tail in half, you'll get Priscilla's dagger, which has one of the highest bleed effects in the game, if not the highest bleed effect in the game. Yeah, I think she had a childhood, because she had the peculiar doll, and if she was just like some creation of Safe to Scaleless, although there is suggestions and evidence maybe for her being a creation, we meet an enemy later on, the Picasso enemy. I'll discuss the Xanthius set in the next episode. So plunge down here, and this will take you back to the room with the painting guardians in it. But yeah, some people have claimed that maybe she's like the Picassos, and Safe the Scaleless apparently used to go around kidnapping fair maidens, shield maidens, and performing grotesque experiments on them. And you'll see what became of them. They become an enemy type in the Duke's archives. But you kindly get a homeward bone as well, so you can bone your way back to the bonfire, and it takes you, if you use it, it'll take you back to the main bonfire in Anor Londo. And for that reason, that is why I haven't taken on Dark Sun Gwendolyn. Because if you do, she is aggroed. The Firekeeper becomes aggroed and you have to fight her, and the bonfire becomes unavailable to leave from. And yeah, we'll take him on and take her on later on, or we'll take both of them on. They're both females apparently. There's so much to talk about. By the way, Thingy's weak to fire and lightning as well. There's the crazy head wrap. Yeah, Priscilla's weak to fire and lightning. There's so much lore behind Velka and Priscilla, and if you're interested in it, check out Dave Control Live's channel and Silvermont. I love Silvermont's videos. I love his narration and his commentary. It's excellent. So in the next video we will go to New Londo. Let's speak to the Firekeeper.
So you have received a revelation?
Yep, from Guinevere.
Very auspicious. I hope for the best. I pray
So
that
her agenda's
her wish will be granted.
her agenda's linked up with Dark Sun Gwendolyn, and we know that it's Dark Sun Gwendolyn that is creating the illusion of Guinevere in the Anor Londo Cathedral.
He turned against the ancient dragons. He became Lord Gwyn's confidant, was granted dukedom, and was allowed to pursue his research. At the Regal Archives, he immersed himself in research on scales of immortality. The one thing that he
Scales of Immortality is an interesting comment.
research drove him mad.
Very specific.
The archives became a dungeon, a place for sinister experiments.
Not the Picassos and the maidens.
Nobody dares even approach the Duke's forbidden archives. It looms over this land high atop the mountain. But I should warn against even an
And I think it's in Dark Souls 2. There's a building that looks very similar to it.
require rest. Now is the time.
I've not finished Dark Souls 2, so I might be wrong about that. Anyway,